talk too much.
Put me out of my misery. My mind feels like an arch enemy. Can't look me in the eyes. I don't know what hurts the most. Hold it on or let it go. Reliving my memories, and they're killing me one by one. And I'm staring into the void again. No one knows what a mess I'm in. The voices in my head say I'm just being paranoid, but it's bad for my health. How much I hate myself, I suffocate. The way it pulls me racing day, so loud out here I can't hear a thing. Man, the fans are going wild. And these drivers came to rock, and no place else but Fox knows how to do it NASCAR style. Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys! Hey, now, here we go, race day. Don't you be going slow. Keep that pedal down on the floor. Push it to the crowd, can't take no more than that. Set the flag, came down the air to the last lap around. When dog week, it's time to play. Gonna get a little bit sideways.
Welcome everybody here to WORC TV as the playoffs begin here in the JP Designs Truck Series. My name is Braison Collins, and today we start out the playoffs here at Lime Rock. We're in qualifying right now. Lime Rock, a beautiful track, about 1.5 miles. We're at the classic configuration today. 7 turns located in Lakeville, Connecticut at an altitude of 506 feet. The home track of, I believe, Christian Visconti and possibly a couple others in this race. I know we have a few New Englanders in here, so some of these guys have a chance to shine at their home tracks. Weather for tonight, it'll be a cool 66 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, 9-mile-an-hour wind speeds. It's about 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. With a 0% humidity. So qualifying is concluded, and we'll get to your starting grid today. Starting off on the pole today is Parker White, but just behind him, about a tenth behind, is going to be Aiden Kirker. Then we had Joe Burgy P3. He's a playoff driver, as is Parker. John Cannizzaro P4. Clayton Ramstead P5, another playoff driver. 6th place Gino Mero, another playoff driver. Austin Duran P7. Jay Mulder 8th. Mulder's in the playoffs. Garrett A. White and Blake Kennedy, each playoff drivers, running out the top 10. Then we have Josh Patterson, playoff driver Chase Marsden, playoff driver Christian Visconti. And then we have Sean Urich, Ryan Martin, who's a playoff driver, Paul Granata, who's a playoff driver, the first car who didn't qualify. Then we had Brady Cox, Bo Krebs, Nick Pena, Timmy Spatz, who's a playoff driver, as well as Henry Klappert and Zachary Thornton to round out the field today, as for some reason 21st is not on the grid right there. I'm not sure why. I just noticed they skipped that, but anyways, these guys will grid, and as you see, most of the playoff drivers have a blue banner above their windshields. Select few don't have it. I believe it's Christian Visconti, Clayton Ramstead, Chase Marsden, Garrett A. White, and Henry Klappert who don't have that banner. But most of your playoff drivers, as you can see here, Blake Kennedy, Mulder, Parker White, all these guys have the playoff banners on. So if you're looking for a playoff driver, a good chance you'll find them if you see those blue banners on the windshields, and we're glad these guys were able to put them on. Those banners were designed by JP Designs, a series sponsor and a huge sponsor of WORC. If you're looking for any designs work or anything like that, whether you need iRacing paint schemes, iRacing helmets, suits, if you need a logo for whether it's iRacing or non-iRacing related, if you need anything done design-wise, JP Designs is your man. Make sure you go check them out. That is this guy back here, Josh Patterson. And look at this beautiful truck he has for us. Let me see if I can get a better look at it. I don't really know the cameras here at Lime Rock, so we'll try to see what I can pull up here. And there's a little close-up view of this truck here that Josh painted. So he's really good with design work, as you can see there. Beautiful truck. Make sure you go check him out. Support our sponsors here at WORC, man. We need it. Parker White's going to be on the pole. Looks like Aiden Kirker did not grid. Not sure what happened there. So that will move John Cannizzaro up to the outside pole in that 17. John was the almost LMP2 champion in the sports car series. He went all the way to the last race, and unfortunately he lost that to this man back here, the 71 of Gino Mero. Gino up towards the front today. He's a playoff driver. He's looking for a good run. So we'll see how this goes. Cautions are called pretty strictly here. I don't know if I should say strict or lenient. I guess I should say strict in there's not many cautions called. It has to be for something very specific. It's lenient in the terms of there's not going to be constant cautions. There might be 1 or 2 this race. There probably won't be any more. So good field of trucks here today. As we see these guys parade Lime Rock, try to get familiar with it. Playoffs start today. It's a 2-race round. Lime Rock and Homestead. After that, we'll eliminate 5 of these guys, leave it down to 9. And then from there, we will have Talladega and Nashville. After that, we will head to the championship race at Las Vegas, where 4 drivers will compete for the championship there. Coming off the final corner here, that beautiful Porsche safety car pulls off. Hopefully for the only time we'll have to see it tonight, as Parker and John will lead us to the green. Green flag is out here at Lime Rock, and we are road course racing here. Look at Josh Patterson already up the middle, 3 wide. Josh with an aggressive move up the middle. Look at this field here. Lots of trucks everywhere right now, and I'm not even sure where to begin to watch. Side by side still for the lead between Parker and John, as these guys all funnel through the left and right-handers here. And John Cannizzaro is going to take the lead early on. Parker struggled there through the S's. I guess they're S's? I don't know. I know it's called the left-hander and the right-hander, but... And Josh Patterson off of that daring move is already up to P5. What a move for him. As we go through the uphill here. Oh, we got a slow truck. Jay Mulder, he's slow. Chase Marsden sliding it off exit. Paul Granata sliding off exit. And lots of drivers trying to navigate their way around here. Sean Urich a little slow. He's towards the back here. And Mason Thompson, he did not read on the grid for some reason. Not sure why, but him and Bo Krebs towards the rear of the field. Henry Klappert, the last playoff driver, but right now John Cannizzaro leading here. He's going to run it wide in turn 1. Cannizzaro goes wide. White's going to take the lead. Oh my goodness, that's tough for Cannizzaro. He takes the lead early on. He looks fast. And then that happens. Paul Granata laying into Brady Cox a little bit here. And side by side behind Nick Pena and Timmy Spatz. Spatz a playoff driver. As these guys all just trying to navigate their way around. As Parker and Burgy leading this one on, but look at this, 3 playoff drivers, 1, 2, 3. Look at Gino Mero, barely squeaks in last week at Auto Club, and he is here doing a phenomenal job up in P3 so far. Clayton P5, Duran, he's not a playoff driver. Garrett A. White, Garrett A. White almost runs into Duran. As these guys all funnel themselves around, Garrett A. White's going to make that move on Duran, and he's moving himself through the field as well. And Josh Patterson makes a move for P3 on Gino. And Gino is actually going to lose 2 spots there. He's going to fall behind Clayton Ramstead as well. And Josh is up to P3. As Burgy's keeping very close to Parker White right now. He actually gets a lot of the curb right there. So Joe really having to work this track out here. Look at Josh. What a slide from him. Lots of close battling through the field, if you can consider it battling. I know it's going to get pretty intense here, I think. Jay Mulder, your defending champ, he's back here in 12th. Ryan Martin, Paul Granata back here 13th and 14th. Henry Klappert, he's a little bit back here in 18th. He's ahead of Timmy Spatz, though, who is back in 21st. So these guys all in a bit of a conundrum. Man, look at this way. Look at this right here from Garrett A. White all the way back to it looks like oh, Chase Marsden goes off. The 23 3dprintway.com Ford F-150 goes off. Luckily for him, Paul Granata was way too far back, and that'll give Chase a chance here to gather himself. He does lose some positions though, but like I said, back from Garrett A. White to Christian Visconti, there's a pretty decent pack side by side back here. Cannizzaro and Kennedy going up the uphill here, and oh, Kennedy gets bonked into the barrier. A little bit of contact there with Cannizzaro, and unfortunately that put Kennedy in the barrier a little bit. He's able to recover though. He doesn't have much damage on that at all. He'll lose a couple spots in the moment, but right now Jay Mulder trying to attack John Cannizzaro here for this position, as Cannizzaro kind of a sitting duck right now. Looks like both Kennedy and Mulder faster than him. Just John doing a really good job at blocking, and Jay enters the corner a little bit lower. And Jay actually might get passed by Blake here. Blake's pretty quick early on. And Christian, he's just kind of sitting there waiting to see what happens with these guys. As back up through the field, Garrett A. White gets by Austin Duran. Gino Mero gets the grass a little bit. And man, that is a lapped truck. Bo Krebs, I believe, right up here in front of these guys. He's going to pull off to the offside here through the chicane. Doesn't want anything to do with it. And Joe Burgy's going to go off into the grass a little bit there, but he's trying to stay close to Parker. These guys swing it really wide off exit. And look at Austin Duran clipping the curb there. And still a little bit of a 4-truck train here, as although Cannizzaro, he's actually pulled away a little bit. Blake's backed it down a little bit. He's getting reeled in by his teammate Visconti back here. Ryan Martin and Brady Cox side by side, and right behind these guys is Henry Klappert, who is kind of under attack from Sean Urich in the moment. We'll see. It looks like Henry might just back off, give Urich the position early on, and Timmy Spat's back here as well. So some of these guys having a rough playoff start, but hopefully, I mean, if they just keep that truck clean, they can nab good finishes. Just look right here. This is some close battling here for P4. As Gino Mero is trying to get right back by Clayton Ramstead. And coming down to the Samposi straight. Man, look how close these trucks are. Garrett A. White and Austin Duran. Duran, he's kind of been pushing it, I've noticed, off the corner. He's going to actually dive it in on Garrett A. White. Trying to make a move early on in that 45, and Garrett A. White's going to go off the track. Garrett A. White is off course. He's going to have to fight his way back on. Oh, close there with John Cannizzaro. And that will give Jay Mulder and Blake Kennedy and Christian Visconti all good chances to try to nab some more positions here, or at least close the gap, as every point matters now here in the playoffs. There's no winning in. I mean, there hasn't been any of that all regular season, so it's almost been an every point matters situation for the most part. But for these guys, I mean, you got 2 races to make sure you're the best 9 after those 2 races. I mean, that's what these guys have to focus on. And that's where a guy like Chase Marsden right now, after that little off track earlier, he's hoping the guy in front of him who's blinking out right now is going to end up lagging out, because Paul Granata right now. That's a beautiful scheme. That one also painted by JP Designs. But Paul's struggling right now. Ryan Martin's struggling. Henry Klappert struggling. Timmy Spatz is struggling. And oh, Nick Pena's around. No caution for that one. It's just a little single car spin off the racetrack. And Zachary Thornton and Mason Thompson have pulled it off track, as is Bo Krebs. Parker continues to lead here, though. He's looking for his 3rd win of the season. He's got about a 3.5 second lead, and Josh Patterson, something happened to him. Not sure what it was, but he's fallen back to 6th. He lost a few positions. Garrett A. White kind of runs it wide. It looks like John Cannizzaro got passed by Mulder and Kennedy. He actually is on the inside right there, and Visconti's trying to get by Cannizzaro as well. And we'll see here if Visconti's going to send Cannizzaro into turn 1. It looks like Visconti's going to back it off for now. He's playing a really patient game right now. He doesn't want to push it. Oh, Nick Pena around again off the track. He's having himself a rough lime rock here. And man, Blake right now, Blake, Cannizzaro, Visconti, they're kind of all under a blanket, as Cannizzaro's trying to get back by Blake. These two always seem to find themselves fighting in whatever races they're in. I've noticed them battle a little bit in the dirt late models. They battled really hard at Knoxville in the truck race. Oh, we've got another spin. Austin Duran, he was running top 5. He goes around. That front end is crinkled into the barrier. Luckily, he was off track, so probably no yellow for that one either. And man, that's tough for that 45. He was running well. Not too sure what happened there, but Clayton and Gino still sort of close together, as Burgy and Parker are on their own island, really. Josh lost some ground. He's back to 5th. Garrett A. White 6th. And then Mulder, Kennedy, Visconti 7th, 8th, and 9th, as Cannizzaro's fallen a little bit. Granata and Marsden battling it out. Marsden gets to Paul's inside, and it's kind of hard for Marsden to judge where that 04 is going to go because he's blinking. And I think Marsden, he's trying to play it patient right now, but Paul, he is having a major issue, and he's got to get that fixed soon, because Chase appears to be faster than him. It's just that he can't get around Paul because he's trying not to dump him here. And I appreciate the respect aspect, though, from that 23, because he's working hard there. Ryan Martin, Brady Cox, pretty close together here, the 9 and the 76, as they try to battle it out. Sean Urich has gotten by Henry Klappert, and Timmy Spatz has gone a lap down as Nick Pena's around again. And Henry is probably about to go a lap down here in this one. Not sure what the fuel run is for these guys. I want to say it's probably like 11 to 20 laps, maybe. I don't know, man. We haven't really tested the fuel runs here because last season we ran obviously on an older season, and I don't believe we ran a limited fuel on these cars. The way iRacing works when you host these sessions, you have to put a certain percentage of fuel in, and sometimes with our races we tend to do about 60 to 70% fuel. I believe we did 65 for this race, so hopefully here 50 laps there's enough for maybe 2 stops in this one. That was kind of the goal. So obviously, we'll see how it works. We'll see how the pit strategies work as well as John Cannizzaro is off in the grass on the front straightaway, and he's knocking the boards down, quite literally, those braking signs on the outside. And I think John's going to pull it off track and tow it here, as that'll probably end the 17th day. And that's good news for Marsden, Granata, and a lot of these guys, because that's another position gain. As Henry's trying not to get lapped by Parker, but it's probably going to happen here. Henry slides off exit, and Klappert in the 34 becomes the next playoff driver to go a lap down. And Joe Burgy, he's trying to get around the lap traffic as well. He's having himself a great day, but Clayton Ramsted's getting faster here later in this race. And look back here for P5, Patterson and White. They're battling it out a little bit. White trying to get by Patterson because, well, White's a playoff driver, Patterson is not. In fact, Patterson painted that 26 scheme too. That guy has about half the paint schemes in the field. He painted all the playoff banners, so I mean, there's a little piece of JP Designs and everything here in WORC. It's kind of cool to see, but looks like Kennedy and Visconti side by side here as they try to navigate their way through these corners here. Looks like Blake is holding on in the moment in that 75, but Visconti, he looks to be a little bit faster in this moment. We'll see if he's able to get by Kennedy, their two teammates, and so of course they don't want to dump each other here. They each want to help each other's playoffs advance, I guess. I don't really know how to put it, but not all bets are off the line at the moment here for these guys as teammates. They can still work together here, try to get something done. But Parker right now, he's putting on a clinic. He was only a 10th faster than Kirker. It's just Kirker didn't grid. Not sure if he had a computer issue or something, but look at this. Burgy gets held up by Henry Klappert. I don't know if that, I mean, that's going to help Clayton Ramstead a lot, but it'll be interesting to see here how the lap traffic affects this race, because we just saw Klappert holding up Burgy a little bit there. We see Timmy Spatz, he's right here in front of Marrow and all these guys, and Gino's going to have to try to make quick work of Spatz to be able to still see Clayton Ramstead up ahead of him. So we'll see how this works here for Gino. Looks like Spatz will give Gino the preferred line there. And now we'll see what happens here with Patterson and White, as they're going to catch Timmy at a little bit of a bad time here into this really high-speed corner. That's the last corner before getting on the straightaway, and doesn't look like they're actually holding up Timmy too much here. Josh actually might be diving to his inside. He's actually going to have to back it off, and Timmy Spatz is going to spin in front of Patterson. He'll lock it up. And man, what a save by Spatz, and good job by, oh man, almost hits Jay Mulder, but good job by Timmy to kind of keep it out of the way. But now, oh, Blake Kennedy, what a slide for that 75. Looks like he'll be all right. He had a little bit of a slide there momentarily. And Visconti's all over his back bumper. He's being patient, giving him time, but with Timmy Spatz right here, I don't know if Visconti's going to try to make the move or what their plan is, but honestly, these guys are keeping it clean, and that's the most important aspect of this so far, I think. As Christian backs it off a bit, it seems, as they're trying to catch Timmy. Maybe not. No, Christian gets a really good corner as they come through the high-speed corner. We'll see how does Timmy affect this battle here for P8 on the track. Looks like Blake's going to go to his inside. If I'm Christian here, I run the corner normally here, best I can. Yeah, because Blake had to dive to the inside. Looks like Timmy just lets him by, and I didn't do too much to that battle there, but back up front, Parker's just cruising at this point, trying to extend his playoff advantage the best he can. And at 95, he's coming up on lap traffic in the form of a battle on track. That's between Ryan Martin and Sean Urich, with Brady Cox just up ahead. This is all for position here, so This is going to come as a little bit of a crucial moment in this race. We'll see if these guys battling. Well, for one, we're going to see what happens with Ryan Martin here, a playoff driver. For two, we're going to see what happens with Parker White because he's catching 3 lap trucks very quickly, and that makes you wonder if Joe Burgy's going to be able to gain any ground, depending on how these lap trucks race. And Parker, he's running down Urich right here. And Urich and Martin are pretty close with Brady Cox, so this is imaginably not the most premier situation for Parker because obviously he wants to hold this lead. He's got 7 seconds on Burgy, so it looks like Ryan Martin's just going to let him by, which will let Sean Urich by in the process. But Parker tries to go to Sean's inside. Sean kind of pinches him down a little bit, and that'll give Ryan Martin a little bit of an opportunity to try to pick this 97 back off for position. But momentarily, that actually helps Henry Klappert and Timmy Spatz, who are each kind of struggling here on their own, as they're just trying to stay clean. And now we'll see how Parker deals with Brady Cox in that 76. And Parker, he'll dive to the inside. Brady's going to kind of pull off, go a little wide, say, here you go. Then Parker gets there smoothly. Now a little bit of a battle for P4 ensuing. Patterson, a little squirrely there coming off exit, so he's going to lose some time. But him and Garrett White, Garrett's been on his bumper, and Josh is kind of caught Gino, and Josh is going to get loose right there, right in front of Garrett, as that O2 is really fighting the wheel here early on. And Garrett right behind him, lurking in the shadows, having himself a pretty solid run as well up here in P6. He's nabbed a few positions, and he's putting himself in a good position for next week at Homestead. And back there, looks like Visconti, Kennedy, they're going to get by Henry Klappert here. And Visconti's still within close vicinity of Kennedy. He's just probably backing off, saving his stuff up. And Marsden has cleared Paul Granata by quite a bit, as Granata has just lost tons of time. And, man, Granata, he didn't really practice. He only put down like 1 practice lap. So I was interested to see that because quite a few guys, they were able to put down laps, and Bo Krebs comes out on track in front of Parker White. And we'll see what that 68 truck does here. As he's trying to navigate his way around the track, we'll see how Parker handles him here. As Parker slow through the left and right handers here. Now he's trying to get to Bo Krebs, and oh, Krebs kind of crosses over the racetrack. Parker had a dive to his inside there, and here comes Joe Burgy. He's just now catching that pack of trucks that includes Martin, Cox, and Urich. And, I mean, man, this is going to be a tough situation for Joe. I mean, he's lost some time to Parker. If he's trying to maintain second, I would assume he tries to swiftly navigate his way through traffic here. As Ryan Martin seems to be like he's been nice to the traffic, which I guess is kind of interesting to me because he's a playoff driver, so good to see him being nice to the traffic. But right here, you've got a 3-truck gaggle right here of lap trucks. Oh, Krebs just throws it off the racetrack. He says, I'm just going to get out of your way. So there's Urich and Cox, and then you've got Joe Burgy right behind. Clayton Ramstead, he's having himself a good run here at Lime Rock, run in P3. He's put himself out there towards the front. He was the regular season champion, which made him the 1 seed heading into this weekend. And, I mean, man, he's doing himself a good job here, trying to maintain everything the best he can. Gino under fire here from Patterson and White, as these guys just bumper to bumper right now. I think Josh, he's going to try to pressure Gino into a mistake here, trying to get this position away. And Garrett, I mean, if he's patient enough, he might be able to capitalize on whatever happens here with Patterson and Marrow. In fact, I believe this is all 3 manufacturers right here. Is Patterson in the F-150, Marrow in the Tundra, and White in the Chevy. Gino gets a really good final corner, though. And I'm not sure. Yeah, he's going to gain some ground on Patterson here. And Garrett A. White, he's going to dive to the inside a little bit. Back it off, though. And, man, these guys all trying to fire off on each other here. Some good battling here, and back here once again, Kennedy and Visconti still going at it here, bumper to bumper. And Visconti's been really patient. In fact, they've both seemingly began to run down Jay Mulder in that 51, who was slowing down. Mulder, the defending champ, he's had himself a solid season. He hasn't won yet. He's been looking for one for a while, but he's gotten himself a couple interviews. And Jay has really honestly had a better season this season than he did last season. He's really come into form here. And Jay's done an excellent job here in WORC. And man, look at that, going up that hill. You go up a jump pretty much like what you see Austin Duran doing up there. He's skating it down into the grass. And we saw it with Kennedy. You get really sideways going up that bump. It's really entertaining to see the terrain change here in these trucks. As we'll see here, there's a little bit of a battle for P4 still brewing, and Visconti is within sin distance of Kennedy. We'll see what he does here. Oh, Kennedy cooks it deep into the corner. Has to check it up, and Visconti might capitalize on that mistake. He'll get around Kennedy, as Kennedy is still trailing that truck around that corner. And through turn one, Visconti's going to get a hold of that position. Meanwhile, up here, lap traffic right in the way of this three-truck battle for fourth. And we'll see how this one commences here. Oh, Patterson really sideways, chases it into the grass. He's still on the inside of White, has to back it off, and he'll lose that position. He didn't handle the uphill straightaway really well, and that kind of got his truck a little sick right there, and unfortunately forced him to get loose. Merrow having to dive to the inside of that 76, and that's going to give White and Patterson a little bit of a shot here because yeah, that 76 he pulls off, but that made Gino take the corner at a little bit of a more shallow entry than he probably would have liked to, and man, Patterson, he's going to be all over White's bumper here. As White has moved himself into the top 5, he's trying to move himself up into 4th here. And Blake Kennedy has gone around, I believe. Oh no, his Blake's come into pit. Mulder's come into pit. Marsden is pitting. Duran has pit. Visconti just pit. Oh wait, never mind. No, never mind. I was looking at it wrong. Just Mulder and Kennedy. My bad. I jumped the gun a little bit there. So Mulder and Kennedy trying to make this one a one-stop race from halfway. I jumped the gun a little bit there. Parker White with a 10-second lead right now. He's doing himself a great job, and several trucks coming out. Patterson and White wreck coming on a pit road. Oh my goodness. That should probably be a yellow that was coming on a pit road. They're not going to call the yellow for that one. Patterson just took out Garrett A. White coming on a pit road. And while we are pitting here, we're going to pull up the WORC replay and take another look at this one. As I believe Patterson may have just made a major driver's mistake. And we'll see right here. This is the replay. Patterson sends it in on pit road. Just absolutely dumps Garrett A. White. I have no idea what Patterson was doing there. He's back out on track. He's behind Kennedy, I believe. He's gotten lapped by Burgy, and there's a lot of traffic here. L2's got a lot of front end damage. He's definitely down on power. Looks like Garrett A. White has gotten out of that with some pretty minimal damage, but that's going to affect a lot of guys as, man, Mulder, Kennedy, they pit early, and they might have been smart to try to stay out of that traffic. Visconti, he pit as well right there. So right now we're waiting to see what happens here with Parker White. And looks like Garrett A. White might be coming back down pit road. He does. He may have a penalty. We'll see what happens with Josh Patterson. He stays out. I'm not sure what happened with White, but this is going to hurt his playoffs a lot. He has a very damaged truck, and that was incredibly interesting of Josh Patterson. So man, I don't even know where to begin here. Look at Joe Burgy, P2 in a lapped truck sandwich right now. He's got Patterson behind him being really aggressive. He's got Granata in front, Kennedy behind, and Joe's gonna back out of it. Joe says, I'm not risking this right now. Parker up front still leading. The first truck who has pit is Jay Mulder. Blake Kennedy right behind him, and Kennedy separated from Visconti quite a bit right there. Not sure if Visconti had a bad stop or what, but he was ahead of Kennedy coming into the pits, so I know Kennedy and Visconti, they kind of got mixed up there trying to get by the lap truck of Klappert. And Garrett A. White still on pit road. This is going to help because here's Klappert to come by. He's going to pass Garrett A. White, and Timmy Spatz, he's still about a track behind, so that's huge for that 34 though, because he needed that. And Clayton, he's pit, and he's trying to get his lap back on Parker here, trying to gain whatever time he can. He was almost 14 seconds back, I believe, as Parker just keeps winding himself around here as the leader. Same with Burgy, as Duran gets a little off track right there. And Paul Granata, who has not pit yet, he's getting lurked down by Visconti. And not sure what Granata's strategy is here, but we'll find out for sure. As, wow, look at all this traffic up here. Gino Mera with some front end damage on that 71. He gets passed by Jay Mulder, and he's getting run down by Blake Kennedy. I did not remember seeing front end damage on that 71. I'm not sure if he missed pit road or what, but man, lots of pit road troubles could be a big factor here in what happens in the playoffs, as Garrett A. White's back out on track. So unfortunately for Henry, if he doesn't pit soon, he may end up losing time to Garrett, which is probably not what he was looking for here. But there's Parker and Burgy. And I'm trying to figure out how long is Parker trying to make it on fuel. A lot of these guys tried to split it halfway. Looks like Parker is just going to try to take it to the end. He knows how fast he is, so. Clayton is the first truck who has not pit. Sean Urich has not pit. Brady Cox has not pit. And Henry Klappert has not pit. Looks like Paul Granata just got out of pit road, so. I would expect to see the 34, 96, and 70, or 97 and 76, excuse me, come to pit road soon. I'm just not sure how soon yet, as these guys trying to hold on the best they can. But other than that, Parker White and Joe Burgy each staying it out. Two guys who've been 1-2 this whole race and are all having good runs. If you're about to get lapped by Parker White, you better hope he pits soon, because you don't want to get lapped by him, especially if you're already a lap down, as pretty much the whole field is. And the 76 will dive into pit road, as does Parker. Parker sends it into pit road. He locks it up. He hits the commitment cone, and that might be a pit road violation. I'm not sure if that's an unsafe pit entry. We will find out. Joe Burgy is going to come around, and he's going to pit as well. I'm not sure if that's an unsafe pit entry for Parker White. We'll have to find out, because I believe that would be a hold of some sort if it is. I don't believe it was, but the only two trucks left on track who have not, or the only truck left on track who has not pit is Henry Klappert, as Ryan Martin is off the track with front end damage. And Henry Klappert benefiting a whole lot right now from the troubles of Garrett A. White and Ryan Martin, but I'm not sure what Klappert's goal is here, if he's trying to make it the whole way or not. I mean, he's going decently slow. I don't know if he's saving fuel maybe with how slow he's going or what, but I think it's time for a little mid-race update. 20 laps to go, no yellows, and we've had one lead change. That was early on in the race, when Cannizzaro decided to loop it around. So, right now, some guys having a rough run. Timmy Spatz, Garrett A. White, Ryan Martin, obviously, on pit road. Henry's had a rough run as well. Yeah, those are some playoff guys who are just not quite having it today. Paul Granata as well. He's usually a pretty quick driver. I mean, he's kind of running towards the back of the mid-pack here. And this one, he's just really not able to get anything done the way he wants to today. I'm just still watching this 34. I'm really not sure how long he can make it on fuel. I mean, he sounds like he's so low in terms of power. Like he's not in the, he's like a gear higher. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but all in all, I don't believe Parker White got that pit road penalty for hitting the commitment cone, which is a good thing for him, because that was a close call. That would have been a very costly mistake because Joe Burgy would have easily taken the lead and whatever the penalty was, and then we would have had a little bit of a battle for the lead here. But Burgy doing a great job in P2. There's Klappert. He finally heads down to pit road at 34, and I'm interested to see what this does because there's Garrett White coming around the final corner. I believe they're on the same lap. So Klappert's probably going to lose that position here. And he does lose these positions, so he's losing positions rapidly, and he's actually going to lose to Timmy Spatz as well. So that was not a very good pit strategy on the part of the 34 because he just lost all those positions that he needed desperately. And Parker's going to come around, put another lap down on those guys. There's Burgy, Ramstead. Oh, looks like Jay. He might have a little bit of a threat here from his teammate Gino Mero. And looks like Jay's actually going to pull down a little bit there. Not sure if he's going defense mode or what. But Blake Kennedy probably stalking this battle back. Excuse me. He's probably stalking these guys right in front of him because he wants to know what he can do with these guys side by side. Gino was the LMP2 champ in the sports car series. I mentioned that earlier. John kind of choked that one away. So Gino, obviously very prepped for these road courses here. And oh, Jay's going to send it in. Jay Mulder sends it in there to the inside of Gino Mero, and these two teammates battling it out really hard here. I think Jay's going to back off. I don't know if Jay meant to do that. He probably, sorry man, didn't mean to send you there. My bad. I'll let you by. That was a little intense there for a moment. I thought those guys were going to take each other out for fourth, and that probably would have not been a very nice team meeting next week when they're trying to discuss how to get into the top 9. And Blake Kennedy, he was up to 6th after the whole thing with Patterson and Garrett White. That's for the moment, though, because Patterson, he is trying to drive himself back up into the top 5 after that. I'm not really sure what happened there on pit road. He just kind of sent it in and killed him. I don't really know what it was, but on that note, Garrett White has just gotten by Brady Cox for position. And the next car up ahead is Sean Urich, who's in 12th. So, not looking good for him. There's Christian Visconti. And he's normally not used to seeing this behind him, getting lapped by Parker White. Parker's just on a whole nother level right now. As he's trying to work himself, into a championship winning position here late in the season, scrapping up some wins, scrapping up enough points, and getting in there. And Joe Burgy as well, he's having himself a nice day here today at Lime Rock. And the cloud cover is starting to move here. Looks like we're still in mostly cloudy skies. Wind temperature has kind of picked up though, and the track temperature has gone down a little bit. So things are cooling down here as the afternoon sky falls. Oh, and right here, look at this cluster in front of Gino Mero, who's going to get into the grass a little bit here as these guys try to navigate their way through lap traffic. There's Blake once again. He has a good chance to try to capitalize on what's happening here with Gino and Jay. Trying to get a top 5 here. And looks like Jay kind of backed off his corner entry there. Not sure what that was for. Probably trying to give Gino some space here to get by Paul Granata and Garrett White. As Gino's pretty quick right now. Oh, Paul Granata blocks. Not sure if there was some miscommunication there. Gino went to the inside of Paul, and Paul kind of blocked him. That forced Gino to the top side, and Paul's now going to block Jay Mulder. Man, Paul, he's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Comes down on Gino, and then Jay goes to his inside, and yeah, I don't know. That was a little interesting there. And now Blake, he's looking in front of me. He goes, oh boy, I got to get around that 04 now. And Josh Patterson, he makes a mistake. He gets passed by Austin Duran. And Parker White has just lapped Christian Visconti. So Parker, he is putting on a clinic right now, 21 seconds ahead of Joe Burgy. As he's just putting laps down here at the moment. Timmy Spatz way off here. Oh, we've got a spin. Oh, looks like Brady Cox may have spun. Oh, he may have blown up. I believe the 76 money shifted. Tons of smoke billowing out of the rear end of that 76, and we're going to see if he's able to get back to pit road. Yeah, he money shifted or something. As he's grinding it around, he's going to have to pull that into pit road, and that'll retire the 76 a little prematurely here tonight. As he's going to drop some spots, and that's tough. There's Henry Klappert, and there's Timmy Spats, so they're about half a track separated here, and I believe Klappert, at the moment, he's faster than Timmy Spats, so we'll have to see if Klappert is able to get to Timmy Spats. He's got 12 laps to do it, but, I mean, I don't know, we'll see. I mean, that's going to be very important for the playoffs here because Klappert and Spats are both ahead of Ryan Martin. They're both ahead of Ethan Workman, but right now they are kind of out of this here, and with Garrett A. White's struggles, they both kind of choked that one away as well, as Garrett is trying to put himself back into a better position, and he's almost going to catch Paul Granata here. I mean, if he has the opportunity, Garrett is definitely way faster than Paul. The only problem is Garrett's going to have to gain a lot of time rapidly, and he's going to need Paul to make a crucial mistake, possibly a self-spin or something. Speaking of self-spins, Blake Kennedy has just blown up. Blake Kennedy blows up on the right-hander. Smoke billowing out of the rear end of the 75, and that's a crucial mistake here for Blake. He was running up towards the top 5. Oh my goodness. Blake and Brady each blow up, and Blake's going to keep it out there. He's got to try to run as many laps as he can on that blowing up engine. He's going to have to be smooth with it for the next 11 laps if he even can. He's going to need all he can get right here because this is crucial. What a major mistake. And Parker White, I'm just noticing, has a ton of front end damage. Oh my goodness. I have no idea what even happened to Parker. I didn't even see that. I'm going to go try to see what happened there to Parker. Looks like they kind of ran off track. It looks like Parker may have ran into Bo Krebs. If Parker blows up, this could be huge. We've seen 2 trucks money shift it here. Bo Krebs is parked in the chicane. Not sure what the reason is there, but Blake, he's trying to hold on right now in front of Parker, and Blake's just trying to stay on the track, period. In fact, if I'm Blake, I'm kind of okay with getting lapped. That puts one less lap on my very injured engine here. As, man, all that smoke coming out. S75 is destroyed. Man, I don't see too many mistakes out of Blake. He's normally a pretty solid racer. And, man, we saw it out of Brady Cox just a couple laps beforehand. So, Blake right now, he's watching this. Klappert and Spats. Spats going through the right-hander. Klappert coming off the final corner. Those guys are each 3 laps down. He's even watching Garrett A. White, who's 2 laps down. Because if Blake can make it... Oh, Blake is only a lap ahead of Garrett A. White, so Blake's trying to make it to lap 49. He's got a long way to go. But it could be huge if Parker blows up with that front end damage. I'm not sure if he will. That thing is pretty hurt looking though. Luckily for Parker though, RPMs don't matter too much at road courses. They matter a lot, but when you're as fast as Parker in terms of the other cars, I really don't think it matters too much. But it is what it is. I'm still watching Blake Kennedy with this hurt engine trying to limp it around. Josh Patterson coming by, and I'm not sure if Blake's going to let him by or try to fight him here at all. And Josh, he's patiently right behind Blake. All that smoke right in his face. Josh pulls to the outside. He's going to get by. Unfortunately, Blake's going to lose a position here to Visconti, who's got a very clean truck. As Blake's still just trying to make it to the white flag at least. Try to hold himself on this lap and not lose too many positions. Chase Marsden coming off the final corner. Blake might get caught by him as well, as we see Blake way up here. And so there's Chase. Chase might get by him here. Paul, though, Paul's right in front of them. So Paul has a long way to go to get there, and Blake may get out of this with a top 10 if he's able to hold on. What these guys are hoping, though, is that either Parker gets taken out. Oh, Henry Klappert's around. Oh, he's backing up into the field right in front of Paul Granata, Josh Patterson, and Christian Visconti. And that's huge. He's not going to be able to catch Timmy Spats now. He was faster than Spats, was gaining tons of time on him. He loops it up there. And Bo Krebs is going to merge right here, coming off the chicane. He's got a lot of damage. I believe he's the one who made contact with Parker. And Bo's actually going to have a chance to pass Ryan Martin here for position. This is huge for Martin, because Bo's going to come around. Yeah, that's position. And Blake's on pit road. Blake is officially blown up. And that is huge for Blake. He couldn't make it to the end. He money shifts it. And oh my goodness. Back up front though. Parker White with all that damage. Oh, Austin Duran in the grass in front of him. And Parker, I mean, he's hoping that that engine just doesn't suddenly explode here in the last 5 laps with that front end damage. Because normally it would, I believe. So, man, look at Blake. Blake is losing positions. I mean, there's Henry. Blake's going to have a lot to fight for next week. Man, I feel so bad for Blake. Parker, though, putting on an absolute clinic here. Joe Burgy pretty much a lap behind. A little bit of a lock up there from Sean Urich right in front of him. Urich's going to run off, and that's big for Garrett A. White because he's going to have to gain probably about 2 seconds a lap, but he's actually doing that on Sean Urich. There's Henry with Timmy Spats. Spats right there with Urich, and Spats and Henry really hoping for good weeks next week with Kennedy. Those guys are going to really have to fight. Garrett A. White, he's going to have to fight. And Paul Granata, Chase Marsden, these guys. This is going to be a tight playoff battle. All right, now, update on the playoff standings. Right now, Parker White would be the best guy in that curricular, I guess. Joe Burgy, Clayton Ramstead, Jay Mulder, Gino Mero, Christian Visconti, Chase Marsden. Hang on. Paul Granata, and then Garrett A. White. He'd be the last truck in. Timmy Spats would be 10th, Henry 11th, Blake 12th, Martin 13th. I mean, those guys have a lot of work to do next week at Homestead. They have to keep those trucks clean. Parker coming around, 2 laps to go. That engine not giving up. Man. Some clean racing most of the time, though. as these guys have some of these guys have really put themselves in another level here. Clayton Ramstead, Parker, Joe, obviously, they've been top through the whole race. Jay and Gino battling it out a little bit here. They've been quick all race as well. In fact, Gino's going to send Jay here. These guys trying to battle for fourth. The white flag is out, though, for Parker White right behind them. And, man, good race by Parker. A little bit of front end damage there, but ultimately doesn't seem like it matters too much. Man, those guys battling it out for P4 though. It all culminates right here though. They're going to get one more lap to duel it out for fourth, but Parker White coming off the final corner, green to checkered. What a race for him. Huge victory. Parker's going to take the win here at Lime Rock. Here comes Burgy up the uphill. He's P2, so he's got a long way to go. And man, Parker, what a run for him though. Kind of going back to this battle for P4. Looks like Gino's kind of behind Jay here. Man, Parker lapped all the way up to the top 5. I just want to throw that out. This was the battle for fourth between P4 and P5. Well, Parker, as we saw, was right behind it. Looks like Jay's going to get it here coming off the final corner. Gino's going to lose some time. What a run for Parker, though. As he's going to come down the straightaway here. And we'll see if he's able to burn it down here. There he is, Parker White. He's going to burn it down here today at Lime Rock Park. What a drive for him. A big win here, back-to-back, his third of the season, and Parker early on looking like a championship favorite, while some other championship favorites go down with engine issues and things like that. So, playoffs entertaining as always, folks. Don't go anywhere because right after Parker's done burning it out, we're going to bring him and the rest of the top 3 in for post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Live here on WORC TV.
The field is rolling on the back straightaway.
Get ready, this is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Gotta be careful, the bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner.
All right, everybody, welcome back here live to WORC TV for post-race interviews. We're going to bring in our race winner, Parker White. Parker, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, a phenomenal race by you. You led all but one lap just because of pit strategy on that lap. But that's going to help boost you immensely here in the playoffs as you take an opening victory here. I noticed you had front end damage. I tried to figure out what happened, but I didn't quite see it. What led to that front end damage late in the race?
Yeah, it was a little bit after pit stops. I was coming through turn one, and the lap car had gone off the track. It's kind of easy to do there going through turn one. And they just merged right back on the track in front of me, and I had nowhere to go. And I was just carrying so much speed that I couldn't stop. And I hit them pretty hard. I don't really know what they were doing there, but I guess stuff like that just happens when you're at a road course and there's people that don't really know what they're doing. But luckily, it wasn't too much damage. I'm not quite sure if I was down in RPM a lot, but it didn't really seem to affect me like lap times wise. But overall, like excluding that incident there with the lap car, I thought it was a pretty good race for us. We lost the lead early on turn one just because I feel like the outside here, they're just at such a big advantage because they got on the inside. You can kind of pinch them, and that's what John Canzaro did. He did a pretty good job of that. Then I was able to get him back there on the front stretch, and then I just kind of pulled away from there. So yeah, pretty solid race overall, and a good way to open the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I just can't believe that performance, man, from green to checkered. I forgot about John actually. Yeah, John early on looked pretty fast. He ran off in turn one, and ultimately you were able to just take the lead and run with it. I mean, I I don't really have much else to ask you here other than I guess you've got back-to-back wins. What does that momentum feel like right now? Do you think that's going to carry through? I mean, we do go to Talladega to open the next round. That's after Homestead next week, so we got a little bit of a curveball in there. But do you think this momentum is going to work out for you?
Yeah, it should carry through to Homestead next week, but I'm not quite sure about Talladega because really anyone can win at Talladega. But I'll definitely put a lot of practice in because like Road to Pro is going to be there that week too, I believe. So I'll definitely have some more practice in because I think they did something with the side drafting model. Like I know they did with the Cup cars, obviously, but it kind of feels different in the trucks now too. So that should be pretty fun to watch. But probably not too much practice just because Talladega just wide open all around. But yeah, the momentum should carry through at least through Homestead and hopefully Talladega too.
Well, congratulations, Parker, on the win, and man, hopefully that new side drafting model does make for an exciting Dega race. Well, you've got one more race left. Hopefully nothing bad happens next week. Looks like right now though you're in a great position to move on after Homestead. Before I let you go, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, I've got to thank Mail Motorsports, Bunch of Lawn Care, Hilo Media, and of course I've got to thank everyone that came out here tonight and you guys up here at WORC TV for all the broadcasts every week.
All right, congratulations, Parker. Back-to-back wins, and I know you're running Road to Pro tonight, so good luck there as well. Hopefully you bring home a win there, but um, all in all, we're glad to have you here with us, Parker, and congrats on the win. Congrats on carrying some momentum in here through.
All right, thank you, Bryson.
All right, guys, that was Parker White. He finished P1 tonight. Now we're going to try to find P2 here on track. That was Joe Burgy. Not sure where he's at here. We're going to see if we can bring in Joe. Oh, for some reason it doesn't want to bring up Joe on the camera. Not sure why. There we go. Give me a moment here, folks. We're going to have to pull up the WORC replay for just a second here because the replay graphic decided to freeze. Hopefully we can get that fixed up. All right, we're good. My apologies, everyone. Now we're going to try to bring in P2 Joe Burgy up into the booth. Joe, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy, bud?
Hello.
All right, Joe. Well, a great run by you. You come home P2 here today at Lime Rock, and man, it was a pretty calm race for you. I noticed once you got second. I know Parker kind of pulled away, you kind of pulled away, and everything was just calm from there. Obviously, this is one of your better runs lately here. What is it about the road course that you think helped you out here today?
I'm not really too sure, to be honest. Just kind of uh trying to keep it on the track. Not trying to run into lap cars, which was a hassle all in itself. Especially when being very sleep deprived, it's very stressful, and I'm thankful that that didn't kind of impact my performance there. I don't know why. It's just for some reason like I can wheel these stock trucks on road courses pretty well. I would have been able to get a 0x in that race if I didn't go off in the final turn, but I think just trying to keep the tires one on the racetrack, and two not too damaged at all, because if you get on the gas too much or too early, you're gonna kill them. And I almost did it a couple of times. I'm not gonna deny it. It was stressful, but it wasn't really the tire situation that I was most stressful about. I mean, it's part of strategy, obviously, but I think it's more. I think there is more strategy in trying to avoid all the people that were flying off the track everywhere. So, um, just to say the least, I'm just glad I survived the race, let alone in second place. Even if I had a couple of close calls there, I won't deny that. But yeah, just all that.
Well, I know the lap cars. I mean, I was watching some of them, and every time I saw like Parker or you get up to those lap cars, there would be like a cluster of like 3 or 4 of them, and I was just kind of wondering like, what are they gonna do here? How are they gonna get by them? Um, Other than that, though, Joe, obviously a great finish for you. Looking in Homestead right now, obviously, I believe you're third in points after this one. Do you think that you're gonna be good next week at Homestead?
Um, I mean, for one, if I end up getting actual sleep, I'd be definitely a lot better than I was tonight. But aside from that, I think Homestead isn't really a good track for me. But I mean, that's if I don't. No, that's if I uh keep it on the wall. Which, I mean, I'm more in the wall than like on the wall. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, my right side is basically implanted in the outside walls. So I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but whenever I'm not tattooing the wall with my right side, I think Homestead would be a pretty alright track for me. Getting adjusted to all the dynamic track and stuff, all the multi groove, especially at Homestead a little bit. I remember being fast there in one of the races that I've run there in the trucks. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that well, especially compared to Parker, because honestly, I think Parker's going to win the championship. He's leagues above all of us, in all honesty. I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say I'm second best. It's the second in championship's probably going to be down to the wire, but unless Parker ends up getting wrecked out in another race, I think he's going to be the champion. So I think it's mostly a battle for second place, like I said. At Homestead, I'm just going to hope that I can stay above the cutoff line, which, I mean, it'll give me a good buffer today, give me a good one. So I think I don't think I'm going to have as much confidence as I had today, but as long as I can keep it out of the wall and as long as I don't end up passing out behind the wheel, I think we'll be all right.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Got to thank you for putting the broadcast up, obviously. Got to thank Ronald McDonald House, Red Bull sponsoring me the whole time throughout this whole season. I don't know really anybody else. Camden Murphy for making, or not making, but like having these amazing schemes in real life. Obviously, my schemes are based off of his truck schemes. So we're gonna hope that we can put that 83 Ronald McDonald House Chevrolet in victory lane sometime this season. We've come close. We've come very close multiple times. There's times when I know I should have gotten it. I think I should have gotten it. There are times where I definitely didn't deserve it, but we're gonna have to see. As long as I end up getting the W, I don't even care if I end up losing the championship. I just want at least one win, and that's probably the precedent going forward.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on P2 tonight, Joe, and we'll see you around. All right, guys, that was Joe Burgy. He finishes P2. Now we're going to bring in P3 to the booth, Clayton Ramstead. Clayton, you're in the WORC TV booth. You had a copy, bud?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good, man. Good run for you. You kind of You started fifth, worked your way up to P3, and ultimately, those extra points you got for winning the regular season championship are going to really help you here. You're going to be P2 in points after this one. Man, what was it like out there? You're kind of on your own island most of the time.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, truck is really hard driving around this track. I felt like I was walking on eggshells the whole time. So it was more or less just trying to have a clean start. And once I got some clean air, just trying to put down consistent, safe laps, and it worked out all right.
All right, man. Well, obviously those consistent clean laps paid off. You were obviously one of the faster trucks in this race. Man, I don't really know what else to say except for heading into Homestead being P2. What are your thoughts? Do you think that, uh, like, are you going to try to just stay in the back at Homestead, keep it clean? You going to run up front? What's your strategy for Homestead?
I'm going to try to run up front. I think the only time I'm going to try to hang out in the back is maybe at Talladega. I think we have that coming up yet. But yeah, I'm going to basically try to do the same strategy, try to get a good qualifying time and try to stay as close to the front as I can.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go tonight, Clayton, do you have anybody you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, 3D Printway, and appreciate having Chase help me out with getting on pace here. He's a better road racer than I am. I'm actually kind of surprised he wasn't a little bit closer to the front or even beating me, but yeah, that would be it.
All right, man. Well, congratulations, Clayton, on P3 and keeping yourself on a good pace here for a chance at a championship. We'll see you around, Clayton. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, guys. That's Clayton Ramstead, P3. And that'll do it for tonight here at Lime Rock. A fantastic race, green to checkered. And these guys, all in all, put on a pretty good show. No cautions, nothing like that. A little bit of playoff drama heading into next week, so that'll be entertaining. Your finishing results from tonight: Parker White P1, Joe Burgy second, Clayton Ramstead third. Then we had Jay Mulder, Gino Mero finishing out the top five and rounding out the lead lap. Then we had Austin Duran, Josh Patterson, Christian Visconti, Chase Marsden, Paul Granata round out the top 10. Sean Urich, Garrett A. White, Timmy Spatz, Henry Klappert, Blake Kennedy, Brady Cox, Bo Krebs, Ryan Martin, John Canizaro, Nick Pena round out the top 20. And then the rest of the field here: Mason Thompson, Zachary Thornton, and then Aiden Kirker, who I believe had a computer issue. Well, folks, Sunday of the GT3 series here in WORC, sponsored by Keystone Corners, starts up about the same time. That'll be a 60-minute race, so don't go anywhere for that one. And next Tuesday night, the McConaughey Setup Shop Your Late Model Tour heads to Fairbury. Those